And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Go ahead and say it, Ed. Go Tigers!
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
You like that? You like that?
F it. Jamar's down there somewhere.
In the New Orleans Saints select Marcus Davenport.
No!
Splash Brothers. Yeah.
It's playoff. Keep going, Brace.
The playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Got it. Cool.
I'll mute till you're going good, and then I'll.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
What is up, y'all, and welcome to the 18th, 19th episode of Dirty Boot Sports.
I don't even know anymore.
We're going. Yeah, that's a good thing. Not even 2 months in, and we're rocking and rolling. We're trying something a little different tonight. We're going to do a shorter episode. We're going to do a deep dive on one topic, and we're doing it remotely. If you can't tell through Zoom, if you're listening, just on your podcast, platform, Chance is at his place. I'm at my house, and Clay is joining us live from a Kendrick Lamar concert in New Orleans, Louisiana. So, what up, dudes?
What's up, man? I'm ready to test this out.
Go ahead.
Clay just watched Baby Keem perform, and I think he said he lost consciousness for a minute.
So. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kendrick will be on at any second. So whenever I just abruptly leave, that will be because of that.
But people need to know he's not there for Kendrick. He's there for Baby Keem. And he said that he closed his eyes and yelled at the top of his lungs one of the songs. So I bet that was fun to see.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I was feeling it for sure.
So, just a little preview of what this episode's going to be. We're going to be discussing basically the MLB trade deadline and some of the biggest rumors and speculations going around right now. So, let's go ahead and start it off, Kyle. The first,
yeah, man. I guess you want to talk to the big guy first.
Yeah, I think we have to. The biggest news basically this year in baseball is the fact that Juan Soto has requested a trade from the Nationals. And today is July 29th. The trade deadline is August the 2nd, and we still do not really know a whole lot of details about this situation. But we do know that the Padres are pictured as the favorites right now to get him. But a little wrinkle got thrown into that yesterday or the day before. The Nationals have been on record saying they want 2 to 3 young young major league players, and then the top 3 or 4 prospects from that organization. And
6 guys, possibly?
6 guys, yes. And the key piece to this trade from the Padres to the Nationals was going to be Mackenzie Gore, who is like their young up-and-coming pitcher who looked like a Rookie of the Year candidate until Spencer Strider and Michael Harris just absolutely went on a tear this year. And he had to leave his start a couple of days ago with elbow pain in his throwing elbow, which is never a good thing when it comes to young pitchers. So they're saying he's being sidelined with an elbow strain, but that can possibly lead to Tommy John surgery. So I have to think that kind of that kind of hurts their chances. Wouldn't you think that, Kyle?
Or maybe that the cost is just going to be a little bit more. Mackenzie Gore, 23 years old, 4.5 ERA this year, 72 strikeouts. Nothing eye-popping. You tag on the injury. They've got a young shortstop, CJ Abrams, 21-year-old. He may be part of the trade. And then you've got some big names, or a big name. They've got a 20-year-old Robert Hassel III.
Oh, yeah.
Currently in high A ball. He was a number 8 overall pick in the 2020 draft. Why is he still in high A? I don't know. That's kind of a red flag for me. But currently he's batting 303. His OPS is 850 this year. So I would expect the move to double A.
Very soon.
That jump from high to double A is a big one.
That's what people have always said, like the gap between high A ball and double A ball is just unbelievable, because you're actually starting to face some real competition at that time, and not just guys that could throw 98 down the middle. They're actually facing guys who can pitch,
Right.
But
there's an art to pitching. It's more than just gas.
Oh, absolutely. Ask Greg Maddux, who can only top out at about 91 if he wanted to, So I guess Kendrick just came on stage for Clay.
And I kind of heard like a ruckus, and then he was gone. So that's
cool. Something else worth noting. This guy I follow on Twitter named Hector Gomez. He is I think he's based in Miami, and he's verified and all that stuff, but he's known in the Twitter world for being right when it comes to Latin players and their news. Basically, he was the first person to break the Marcell Ozuna re-signing with the Braves news a couple of years ago. So I trust him, and he said today that Soto might still sign an extension with the Nationals, that the Nationals are still trying to sign him, and they're not giving up. So that's kind of going against everything we had heard really up until now. So that should be interesting to see it play out.
Was he the guy that broke the interview where Acuna had beef with Freddie? Same guy?
It might be, because I'm telling you, this guy, he somehow is in the know for every Latin player, and it's crazy, and he's always right.
I think that's the dude.
Yeah, but
another team that that I've been reading would make sense to be in the mix for Soto would be the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah,
and because of their young talent, so a key player in that would be Nolan Gorman. 22-year-old second baseman. No eye-popping stats this year. He's just, has a lot of potential. High ceiling.
Got a lot of pop.
Jordan Walker. Yeah. Jordan Walker, 21st overall pick in 2020. He's currently in Double-A ball, so he's made that jump. And over there in Double-A, he's batting 300 with 868 OPS this season. So he's killing it.
And the thing to watch with Jordan Walker, he's a third baseman, and they've got Arenado. So he's expendable for them. They can really get rid of him and not take a big hit, because he ain't going to be able to move to shortstop. That's not a thing, and they also have a shortstop that's really good on the come up, and Mason Wynn, and you can't move him to second because Nolan Gorman's going to be there, and you can't move him to first because Paul Goldschmidt's there. So he's very expendable for the Cardinals. So that's why I've viewed them as the favorites the whole time, because they have an abundance of prospects, and I'm ready to see if they're even willing to do this.
So is it still the Padres as the favorite right now?
That's what the baseball world is saying, and I'd be stupid to go against them. But I think the Cardinals are a sneaky team to watch. So,
and I know that Soto is out of this world talent, but what are you really getting for your team? I mean, because he's a DH, right?
He's going to be a DH one day. Yep.
He can play the outfield, but he's not good in the outfield. Not great. It's not like you're getting Trout out there.
No.
So it just seems like it only makes sense for him to go to a team that has an opportunity to propel, to that next level. And I mean, the Padres, and I mean, the Cardinals have been hanging around too,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not looking forward to seeing him stay in the National League.
Absolutely
for sure.
not.
I'd like to see him. Yeah, I'd love for the Yankees to sweep in and grab him.
Yeah, just to
That's
get him away from us.
And of course, there's always the Dodgers, and they're always in the mix because they'll pay whatever, do whatever. But some of the Dodgers sluggers have been, kind of down this year. So, I mean, I have in my notes, I wrote Dodgers as a potential, landing spot, and then I wrote blah.
Yeah.
I just hate talking about them and their abundance of talent. But
do you think he'll get traded?
Yeah, I do.
It's crazy
maybe because they've
just
ain't it. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't think Trey Turner was going to go.
Yeah, I mean, this team won a World Series 3 years ago, and they have now traded basically all their top players and might be trading their superstar. It's insane the fall they've had from that World Series.
Well, I thought they were, and why you need to rebuild after winning, I don't know. But I thought that they were going to trade away a lot of pieces and then retool around Soto. But
that's what they try to make it sound
like. Case. Seems like right. But how much is that? Just we got to keep our fan base happy.
I mean, put us in their shoes. We just won the World Series as Braves fans. Could you imagine getting rid of Acuna right now?
No.
I don't know what would happen on Braves Twitter if that happened. Like, it's just insane to think about that. Or how about this? Like, since they waited a couple of years to get rid of Soto, we'd wait a couple of years to get rid of Acuna, but that's us getting rid of Freed, like they got rid of Max Scherzer the year after. Us getting rid of Dansby or Austin Riley the year after. Like, it's insane that they have just gutted it that quickly, And I think a lot of that has to do with probably their pocketbook, because they probably don't have deep enough pockets to pay all those guys, But shout out to them, man.
And too, like,
they found all these guys, So shout out to them for finding these big time names.
Yeah, and you don't have to be successful in the wins and losses category to make money.
No,
as a Major League Baseball franchise.
No.
So I mean, the Florida Marlins, are infamous for doing that after they won their World Series and haven't sniffed anything since.
I mean, you get 81 home games, Yeah.
That's your money right there. You just got to get butts in seats, and if you win a World Series, you got to think you boosted your base right there enough probably to kind of carry you for a few years anyways.
But the problem, they won the World Series before COVID.
Yeah.
And that is probably what killed them, and I hate to blame something like that on COVID, but imagine if they would have had that full season after the COVID year. I mean, after the World Series. Look at the Braves. We're selling out games left and right. We're up to like 30 or 40 sellouts almost, and then we've played probably 50-something home games. So imagine if they were able to do that. Would their payroll be different? Would they keep all these guys? We'll never know. But I think they have a legitimate excuse with that.
There's a brand of baseball too that's, synonymous with the Braves and, synonymous with the Yankees and the even the Astros, and, Washington just doesn't have that,
No.
I mean, being a newer franchise, they just don't have that lineage that's always going to draw fans. Like, we're two dudes sitting in Jackson Parish, Louisiana, rocking Braves hats. I guess you got a Tigers hat on, but because we watched them on TBS growing up.
Exactly. So they don't have that.
They don't have that. Yeah. They probably could have, though, if they would have kept on trying to win. Right?
Yeah, it's just sucks because they didn't get to ride that high. They didn't get to ride that emotional and financial high of winning a World Series. And I think back to the Braves, the day they started selling like world champions gear in the clubhouse store, because I went to the Braves versus Nationals games, the second home series of the season. And we were talking to some of the people because they had so much stuff with gold on it, representing the World Series. And the clubhouse people said they sold over $700,000 worth of world champion material in the clubhouse store the day it opened.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that's just in the store in the Battery of Atlanta. You know, it's crazy. It's not counting the
Yeah.
stuff online.
And post, post their World Series, DC was shut down.
Yep.
You
Everything
know,
was,
You weren't getting in the store. You weren't doing anything.
Mm.
Unless you were Nancy Pelosi getting your hair cut, at her barber. That was, the only place that was open in town apparently. But yeah, it was tough. And yeah, I feel for them, but they're in the division, so screw them.
Yeah. They can suck it. So I'm with you though.
All right.
I think he gets moved, but Clay, however, does not think he's going to get moved. And honestly, that's probably what's going to happen.
That's a solid pick too, though. Keeping him there.
I think it's 50-50. I really do. So you want to move on?
Yeah. You gonna talk Astros?
Yeah, let's talk about Houston. They are like we talked about a couple pods ago, they are chasing down that number 1 seed for the AL right now. And I think they're about to do some big things. I think they're about to load up and they're about to go after it. And one name I have seen since the day people start talking about trades is William Contreras or Wilson Contreras. It's Wilson. We have William. Cubs have Wilson.
The brother.
The Cubs catcher, Wilson
I know,
Contreras.
it's confusing.
It's so weird, man. It's so weird.
They look alike.
Oh, dude. It's almost like they're brothers.
Yeah.
But he's been linked with Houston basically from the jump. And I think that's just about a guarantee. I've seen the Tampa Bay Rays be mentioned with him a little bit, but I don't think they'll want to get rid of the prospects to get him because you know how Tampa is with their prospects. Yeah. But I think Houston, I think you can write that down in pen that he'll end up in Houston. And another name I've been seeing lately mentioned with Houston is Josh Bell from, yet again, the Washington Nationals.
Mm-hmm, and, fire sale.
Oh, yeah, they're about to gut it, man. They're 30 back of first, so I don't blame them necessarily, but I just couldn't get rid of Soto. I couldn't do it. But Josh Bell is having a resurgence year, man. He was fantastic in Pittsburgh. Went to Washington on a big free agent. No, not free agent. They traded him there, I believe. I want to say they traded him there. And he's been awesome this year. He's batting like over 300. Still has plenty of pop in the bat, like 15 or 20 homers. And he's about to be sent to a contender. And I've seen Houston rumored with him, as well as Milwaukee, weird enough. And I think he's guaranteed to go. I think he's more likely to go than Soto.
Gotcha. Well, Houston scares me because we spanked that booty in the World Series, but they were down a little. We had a little help from injuries, and of course, hey, we didn't have Acuna, so
we didn't have Ronald.
That's right. But they're always up there beating on their trash cans. Contending. Yeah. If you're not cheating, you're doing it wrong. So that's the Astros way, and I expect them to be right there.
I think it's pretty safe to say either them or the Yankees come out the AL this year.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't you agree?
Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo. I said, wouldn't you agree though? Houston or New York has to be coming out the AL.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on.
I'm trying to think off top of my head who else. Nobody. It ain't. There isn't. It ain't Boston. Yeah.
Mm-mm. So Luis Castillo, he has been the guy to be mentioned basically since spring training about being traded at the trade deadline. And he's having a phenomenal year, all-star year, And oddly enough, the Reds are still kind of saying they're planning on holding on to him. But we know they could just be doing that to help run up the price on them or something. And they're Yankees, Dodgers, they're always going to be in contention. The Yankees really need starting pitching right now. And I think that's going to be, if he goes anywhere, it's going to be New York.
They a couple of places they had listed in the article that I read up on was Minnesota and Seattle. I think Seattle was more of a pipe dream, but the Twins need pitching and, want to contend.
They're trying their hardest.
Another team. Yeah, it's got to be hard over there in Minnesota, but Castillo's numbers this year have been lights out. 286 with 90 Ks. I mean, yeah, that's balling. But why not a couple of up and coming teams like Baltimore and Toronto?
That'd be a bold move.
They
for
both need.
I would like that.
Yeah, they need pitching. They've got a ton of young talent.
Mm-hmm.
To make some moves. But yeah, I don't know, that would be interesting. I wish I was reading the Braves and some of these big time players movements, but I'm really not. I mean, what do you expect out of the Braves trade deadline?
I don't think we'll get a big name guy, mainly because we do not have the prospects right now. Like, well, we have the prospects, but we don't have the high-end prospects that people are going to be searching for. Like, one guy I would love for us to get. I wanted us to get Benintendi. That didn't happen. But one guy I would love for us to get would be Ian Happ from the Cubs. He's a switch-hitting left fielder who can also play second base, which is our two biggest weaknesses right now. But the main problem with him is he has another year left on his contract. So I don't see that necessarily happening. Because mainly,
and he showed up this year.
Yeah. And if you go after somebody, I've seen in the past with the Braves, if you go after somebody with another year left of control, then the price goes up. Price just keeps going up. And we don't have the guys, I don't think, to do that, honestly, unless we could trick somebody into wanting Tucker Davidson or something. But I don't think that'll happen, honestly.
Right.
But a realistic one I've seen, oddly enough, was a big name bat that I wanted us to get last year, and that's Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
So,
and maybe because he's had a little bit of a down year.
Yep, and because the Yankees just traded for his replacement with Benintendi. So they technically don't need him, and like you said, he's had a horrible year this year. He's only hit like 12 homers, I think it is, and he's batting like 197. But, I mean, heck, Adam Duvall was batting like 215 before he broke his wrist the other day. So it'd be like a lateral move, and we know what Joey Gallo can do if he's hot. And let's be honest, he came from Texas straight to the Yankees. That's probably a culture shock for him because you go from a little team a little team that basically sucked for the past decade, and you immediately go up to New York, who obviously is going to break open the checkbook for him in hopes of winning a World Series with him being a focal piece, and he's kind of just not living up to that hype. And would a change of scenery be good for him? Probably so. Wouldn't you think?
You got to feel like Atlanta is a friendlier place as far as the pressure goes. No, don't get me wrong. Like, Braves fans have some high expectations, but dude, it's just different in the Big Apple. Those fans are cutthroat. That organization, I mean, you don't even get your name on your back when you go put on a Yankees uniform. You put on the pinstripes
and you shave your face.
So, yeah, that's right. So it's different, man. I would love to see him in Atlanta. Look what we did post Acuna injury last year with guys who are stinking up the place.
That's like people have compared his numbers.
So who's to say they can't come in?
Exactly. People have compared his numbers to Jorge Soler, who obviously won us an MVP last year in the World Series because Jorge was struggling in Kansas City. He comes down in Atlanta, finds a nice little home, goes off. But I just got the alert from Zoom saying we got to upgrade it. So let's move it on. Oh, I'm definitely not paying for all that. Screw that. We'll just we'll be done in 10 minutes.
Cool. Well, let's talk Otani then, man.
Yeah, let's talk Otani.
Got to talk Otani, right?
Yeah. I just cannot see them getting rid of him. I just can't do it. If they haven't gotten rid of Mike Trout yet, I don't see them getting rid of Otani.
Yeah. But Trout could be out for, I don't know enough about that back condition that he's got, but he could be out for a while.
That's a scary sounding thing.
But Otani, yeah, it kind of reminded me of like a Peyton Manning type deal, with Peyton's neck.
Mm-hmm.
That was career threatening. I think he had a little help with HGH or something there.
And
but,
when they use the term rare in the injury, that's never a good thing.
No, never. But so basically, just like Soto, Otani's demanding a lot of young talent.
Yeah.
Minnesota was on the list, and they're talking about Josh Wader, Alex Kirilloff, Royce Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Big names, big young guys. The New York Mets, unfortunately, that would be a nightmare. But they want Francisco Alvarez, the number one prospect in the minors right now, catcher, who's kind of bouncing between Double-A and Triple-A right now. He's got an 894 OPS. I think he's in Double-A currently, but number one prospect right now in the minors. So, I don't know. Could Otani be on the move? They're gonna have to pay him pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got a big contract coming up, so that could be a plus to get him out of there.
A team I've seen also rumored for him, besides the Braves, which I just do not see realistically happening, but the Seattle Mariners.
No.
And with Seattle, I'm trying to say this correctly. The Asian ball players, when they come to the United States, they go to three places. They either go to LA, they go to New York, or they go to Boston. And then they've also sometimes gone to Seattle with Kikuchi, and there was Ichiro and numerous other players. So you always kind of have to take that into account. You have to take that into account. And I could see that happening. I really could.
Can you imagine him and Julio Rodriguez?
Dude, freaking tanks getting hit every game, man. And don't get me wrong, I still think Otani's way overhyped, but he's freaking great. He is. He's great. Like, all jokes aside.
Yeah. The problem with Otani is that he's great at he's great at the plate, and then he's great at a position that you're only supposed to play that position. You're not supposed to do anything else.
Yeah.
When you're a pitcher. And when he pitches, for the most part, I mean, Braves did a good job of dicing him up a little bit, but for the most part, he's pretty dominant on the mound. He's had like 10 strikeouts and 6 straight starts, something stupid.
I don't see him getting moved. Do you?
I kind of want to, just for the hype it would make, for the excitement in baseball. And I really, man, what is it about the Angels that just sucks the life out of stars?
I don't know. Like, how can you not win in Los Angeles? I don't get that. New York, Los Angeles, they both have 2 teams for a reason. They should. Oh, hold on. The Seattle Mariners. Oh, my God, we're breaking news. The Seattle Mariners are very close to acquiring Luis Castillo from the Reds. Go Mariners. I freaking like that, man. I like it.
There you go.
I love that.
Yep.
Heck yeah. Go for it, man. You got the prospects. Go for it. So look at that. We broke some news.
There you go, man. Just got to pump this video out quickly.
Yes.
But
real quick before we close, I got one more destination I want to talk to. We have 4 minutes and 12 seconds, I think. So the Mets, they're still trading for people left and right, and I honestly don't think they're done. I can see them going after Christian Vasquez from the Red Sox because their catching has been horrible this year. And yeah, the Red Sox said they're not going to go after. I mean, not going after. They're not going to get rid of Bogarts or Devers or anybody big like that. But Vasquez and JD Martinez is very possibly on the block. And the Mets are known this year to be going for it. And they have an owner that's willing to do anything it takes. So I could see that happening. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens in the very, very near future, like the next day or two. But that's all speculation right there.
I think us winning the World Series really lit a fire under the Mets front office and fan base,
especially after how we got there.
These guys are in our division. We can hang it in. That's right. That's right. So I hate to see it, but they are on the come up, and they're a real threat for us. Obviously, they're leading us in the division, and they swept the freaking Subway Series, man. Jesus.
Yep. Who would have thought that?
That was big time.
Yep.
Not me.
They're not the same old Mets, man. They really aren't. They're legit this year, and they have my respect, which is saying a lot. So
fingers crossed that they met it up.
Hey, it's always a possibility. So you ready to wrap it up?
Well, cool, man. Let's wrap up this interview. Yeah. So this has been, just a new way of doing a podcast. We felt like it's going to be important to be able to do these type of Zoom type calls for football season because life's going to be busy. Chance is head coach at Winfield Junior High. We've got a lot of football to watch, so school will be back in session. Things are going to be crazy. So hopefully y'all will like this type of video if you want to take a deep dive into a subject, or even maybe to cover some general sports news for the day. Just a way for us to get a pod in and kind of keep everybody updated on what's going on. So I like it. I think it'll be fun. I would like to get, maybe 3 people on at a time with this, but 4 might be too much. I don't know, because of the delays and the talk.
Yeah.
But definitely 3, I think would be cool.
Yeah. So
that's all I got, brother.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody liked it. And, I definitely see us having to use this a lot during football season, like you said, and whether it's even me zooming in on my way home from a football game, which is very possible on a Thursday night whenever I'm on my way home at like 9:00. So I can see this being very, very useful for us in the future. So
yeah,
hopefully everybody likes it. Yeah, it's probably a little rough and a little edgy right now because we're still new to this part. But yeah, thank you all for listening, and as usual, chop on, especially this upcoming weekend.
That's right. Who dat?
This ain't how it's supposed to be. It should be just you and me.